Every country that defied the dollar paid a price. Some lost their markets, some lost their governments, some lost everything. And the strangest part, it was never called a war. In 1971, Nixon made a quiet announcement that changed the rules of the entire global economy. No invasion, no treaty, no declaration of war, just a speech. And with that speech, the United States transformed its currency into the most powerful geopolitical instrument ever constructed. This is the Prince's Ledger, where money, power, and history collide, and nothing is ever as simple as it looks. In 1944, 44 nations gathered in a mountain hotel in New Hampshire to answer one question: whose money would the world trust? The answer was almost inevitable. America held 2/3 of the world's gold. The dollar was backed by gold, every other currency was pegged to the dollar, and in one conference room, the United States became the financial center of gravity for the entire planet. But promises made in prosperity have a way of breaking under pressure. By the late 1960s, foreign governments began quietly converting their dollar reserves into gold, and the vault was draining. Nixon faced a choice: honor the promise or change the rules. He changed the rules. The dollar was now backed by nothing but trust, naked trust. And what Kissinger rebuilt from that moment was not a monetary system, it was a weapon. In 1974, the United States struck a deal with Saudi Arabia, American military protection, in exchange for one condition: all oil would be priced exclusively in dollars. Every nation on earth that needed oil now needed dollars first. The dollar had become the mandatory toll booth of the global economy, invisible, inescapable. Then came SWIFT, the messaging system connecting every major bank on earth. When America wanted to isolate Iran, it didn't invade, it removed Iran from SWIFT overnight. When Russia moved into Ukraine, $300 billion in Russian reserves were frozen before a single sanction was announced. Democracy decided who governed the dollar, decided who survived. But weapons create resistance. China, Russia, Brazil nations are quietly building exits from the dollar system. The dollar still dominates, but every time it is used as a weapon, a piece of its credibility is spent. Rome debased its currency to fund its wars and called it policy until it wasn't. The dollar is not America's power, it is America's amplifier. And amplifiers pushed past their limits don't fade gracefully, they break. The question history is now asking is simple: how long before the world decides the cost of using dollars is higher than the cost of finding something else? History has the answers. The Prince's Ledger will show you where to look.